So I was in the kitchen cooking, right? And the thought crossed my mind. I had a conversation with a person this past week, and I was just giving them my testimony, how God saved and delivered me, how I went to prison. He delivered me from a horrible addiction, y'all. That addiction, that spirit literally tried to destroy, and it did destroy my life at that time. But I was talking to them, and it happens often. It's like people automatically assume that you meet God when you go to jail. See, my story is different. I knew God before I went to jail. I just went astray, which is what most people do when they're coming up, when they're growing up and they're straddling the fence or mingling with the world and still in church. Like, we can't do both. But anyway, so something happened to where what I was in sent me to jail and prison. Okay, so I was giving my testimony, and it's just crazy, and it baffles me how people automatically, when you're telling them your testimony, they assume that you met God in jail just because that's where you were in prison. But that's not the case. People don't always go to prison and meet God. Some people know God before they go to prison, so therefore God sends them there or allows them to go there just so he can rebuild them and reestablish a relationship with them. And that's pretty much my case. That's why God had to sit me down, and he cares so much about us. He cares so much about us, and he walks with us through the fire, just like he did them 3 Hebrew boys. Okay. So I said that to say this. When I went to prison, God actually sat me down and was like, okay, let me reintroduce myself. So I went wholeheartedly chasing after him because I knew where my help and my deliverance came from. So that's what happened. That's the story. I just wanted to get on here and ask, why do people do that? Like, why do people automatically jump to a conclusion when somebody's saved and they've been through something? See, a testimony, if you don't go through a test, you ain't got no testimony. So who can you help? Okay. So I just want to know why people do that. People need to stop. They need to stop. They really do. Because it really bothers me that people do that. Not that I have to prove anything or explain myself. It's just crazy to me. Stop doing that.